Both Purdue and UConn will be heavy favorites in the Final Four. Most people are expecting a Purdue-UConn final, but first Purdue's got to get past NC State, and UConn's got to get past Alabama. We're going to talk about that game, but before we do, let me tell you about a promo we have available at both Wager Talk and SportsMemo.com. Using the promo code JS3Day, that'll get you 3 days, all sports, all access with myself over at Sports Memo. Why would you be interested in that? Well, 7-3 over the last 3 days, 15-6 over the last 7 days. I'm the number one handicapper in 2024 at Sports Memo, number one for the last 365 days, number one since January 1st of 2023, and number one since January 1st of 2022. So that's a little bit of consistency for you. I think it's worth $30 to come and see me at sportsmemo.com and get that 3-day package. Let's talk about the Final Four. We got the Huskies as a 12-point favorite. The total's sitting at 160.5. I can't lie to you. I like the Huskies, but I will tell you, this line opened at 10, and it's a rule of mine. I don't get in on a line after it's moved a couple points away from what I consider to be my favor. So I think you're late to the party if you want to jump on UConn now. I guess everybody's going to be on the Huskies here. But there's another way to attack this game. You look at UConn, and they've just crushed the opposition so far. They allowed just 52 points in the first round against Stetson. They allowed 58 points against Northwestern in the second round, 52 against San Diego State, and 52 against Illinois. And that's particularly significant because Illinois was ranked number one in offensive efficiency in the country by Ken Palm. And UConn held the Illini scoreless until 12:39 remaining in the second half. They didn't score in the final 2 minutes of the first half. It was 10 minutes of game time, but 55 minutes of actual time. So you could have drove to Papa John's, ordered a pizza, had a beer and waited for them to cook it, drove back home, and you wouldn't have missed Illinois bucket in that game. So if they're capable of doing that to the best or the most efficient offense in the country, I know Alabama's good. I know Alabama likes to play fast, but I think Alabama's in trouble. Speaking of playing fast, the Huskies don't play fast. They rank 307th nationally in pace of play, averaging just 68 possessions per game. Unders have been the trend in the tournament in the recent rounds. We did see 3 of 4 Elite 8 games go under the number, and 6 of 8 Sweet 16 games go under. So that's 9 of the last 12 games in this tournament have gone under the number. We got a pretty high total here. Like I said, I'm leaning towards Connecticut. So I'm going to look at the team total under 74.5. Alabama relies heavily on three-point shooting. That's how they beat Clemson. They were 16 of 36 from beyond the arc. That's 44.4%. And Clemson was just 8 of 26, just over 30%. That was the difference in that game. Expect some regression with the three-point shooting. And as an example of such, I will point out Purdue. Against Gonzaga, Purdue was 9 of 20, 45% from beyond the arc. But when they played an elite defense in Tennessee and a slower-paced team, they were just 3 of 15, 15% from beyond the arc. The reason I use Purdue as an example is because Alabama is a team that usually shoots the ball pretty well. They score plenty of points. But when you play a team like the Huskies, that can fall apart pretty quickly. Additionally, the venue doesn't help Alabama in the three-point shooting. This game is going to be played in a football stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The football stadiums can affect the three-point shooting because of the backdrop and the depth perception. We'll see if that plays into it, but regardless, UConn is just so good defensively. This number of 74.5, I think it's going to be hard for Alabama to get there. So instead of taking the inflated number of 12, we're going to take Alabama team total under 74.5. If you like this video, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you got anything to say to me, even if it's nasty, I don't know why it would be nasty. We're doing pretty well of late. But you hit me up in the comments below. Get back to you as soon as I can. Good luck. We'll see you again tomorrow.